welcome to Let's Connect on 88.5 Soufriere FM. Thank you so very much for joining us. Welcome to the Let's Connect family. We're so very happy to be here on this wonderful Tuesday, January 18th. And it has been a wonderful day so far. I have with me in studio our current manager of the Soufriere Midi Stadium, Nehemiah A. St. Jean. And we will be having a very interesting discussion this evening on all sports-related topics within our community of Soufriere Fort Saint-Jacques. But first off, we're going to start off with some shout-outs and a couple of announcements. So I want to give a special shout-out to our listeners in Barons Drive. Thank you so very much for always tuning in. I want to big up Fort Saint-Jacques, especially the communities of Mini and Belvedere, St. Philip, and Espérance. We want to give a special shout out to Zeno, and also great shout out to the people of Sulphur Springs. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to those of you down in Colabet and at Bouton. Those of you in Palmis and Fort Bernier, new development as well. Big up the DeSouza family and Mr. Edward DeSouza. We want to shout out Wingsville, Church Street, Town Center. Shout out to those of you in Boisden and Belfort, Chateau-Belair, and Mont-Lacroix. Not forgetting those of you in Font-Gelib and Belle Plaine, and also Marguerite. We want to give a special shout out to the Riverside crew. To those of you at Market Road, Smoke Hill, The Gulf, Diamond. Let's not forget you guys. Diamond. We want to shout out Deville and Etongs, also Fort Caco and Lenny's Hill. Big up to the Forbenier Posse. And also to the Palmis crew. We have a couple of announcements. The funeral service of Edward Joseph, better known as Ferrad, of Fort Saint-Jacques, will take place on Thursday, January 20th at the Fort Saint-Jacques Catholic Church. Also, the funeral service of Matthias St. Jean, better known as Ravi, will take place St. John. I said St. John? Mr. St. John, your name is staying in my brain, not my fault. I have St. John written and I'm saying St. John. Matthias St. John, better known as Ravi, will take place on Friday, January 21st at the Evangelical Church in Soufriere. Okay? We want to shout out those of you on our Facebook chat. Let us know that you're there so we can give you a shout out. Mr. St. John, anyone you want to give a shout out to while we have some time? Those of you on our Facebook Live, thanks for joining us.
Not really. Let me just say good afternoon to everybody out here in Radio Land. Good afternoon to the sports enthusiastic people out there, those who are passionate and want to know what is happening with sports and everything to do with sports in Soufriere. I'll try my best to inform you as best as I can during the course of the show.
All right, wonderful. So for those of you who are just tuning in, we have with us Nehemiah St. Jean, who will be giving us all the 411 on all the sports-related issues in Soufriere. So if you have any questions relating to sports issues in Soufriere, please can you join us on our Facebook Live chat and drop us some comments, some questions so that we can read them out live for you guys. Tune in and stay tuned because Mr. Senja is going to start us off. We're going to be getting some latest news on, I think our first topic will be volleyball. I'm not sure if we're going to be talking about beach volleyball specifically, Mr. Senja.
We're going to be looking at every single sport and see where we at and how we move forward with every sport. So we will be touching a bit of every single sport.
All right, great. So we have volleyball and there's beach volleyball. Can you tell us what's happening with volleyball in Soufriere specifically? Do we have equipment? Do we have a team? Do we have a male and female? Is it a combined team?
The thing about volleyball is it has been dead for quite a while now. We've not had volleyball for a very long time. Although we have maybe one of the best volleyballers in St. Lucia, in Tevin Senjo, who's currently playing in Portugal right now.
I last heard he was in Greece.
Yeah, he left Greece. He's now in Portugal. Volleyball has been dead, and when the new administration came in, that was one of the concerns. We wanted to see how best we could revive some of the non-traditional sports. So I can tell you as of right now, the district representative, Emma Hippolyte, has donated a brand new volleyball net and some volleyballs to the Soufriere Youth and Sports Council. Volleyball is played mostly on court. As you are aware, right now we have no courts to really play any volleyball. Excuse me. So what the Youth and Sports Council has decided is they're going to erect a volleyball net on the beach and play some beach volleyball. I have my own personal beach volleyball net that I have put up a couple times on the beach, and on any given time, I mean, we've gotten 5-6 teams playing beach volleyball down there. So it is a sport that can pick up and can become very popular. So pretty soon the Youth and Sports Council will be putting up that net that the district rep sponsored up on the beach at the Hummingbird Beach, and it will be a stationary net. It's not something that will go down. It's going to be there all the time, and we will try to get as many balls as possible to give as many people. So maybe if I'm not there, or a member of the Youth and Sports Council is not around, that other people have balls, and we can just try to revive the sport of volleyball.
So if, let's say, for example, if you're going to have teams coming every Sunday, from what time to what time would we be able to play volleyball or watch volleyball being played at the beach?
Well, there's no competition right now. It's just basically trying to get the sport back alive. So what I did was I called up a couple guys and say, listen, we're going there at 1. So we would put up the net and then play from 1 till everybody's tired, which would be 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. But again, if there is a stationary net, it might start a little earlier and last a little longer. So there will be beach volleyball net planted at the Hummingbird Beach to try and revive the sport of volleyball.
Okay. Is there a way we can know through social media? Does the Youth and Sports Council have a Facebook page maybe that we can?
Yes, the Youth and Sports Council has a page, and when that is erected, it will be up there. In the meantime, when I just go up there with my friends just to play, I usually put it on my page and I inform people, listen, volleyball sweat at 1 or something of that sort. So just look out for it. The Youth and Sports Council will be erecting that volleyball pole and put up the nets so that we could have volleyball on a regular basis or at the Hummingbird Beach for now, until we get a court, and then to look into playing some volleyball on the court.
Okay, so if persons were interested in learning the basics, learning how to play, for now, the beach is where it's at. The beach is where it's at.
I have contacted the Volleyball Association, and they have said that they would, come down here and do some workshops, maybe some coaching workshops, along with some festivals, some volleyball festivals. So maybe by the time when we get the poles up and running, then we would have more assistance from the Volleyball Association. Although they have said that they are willing to reach out to us, they are going to give us some equipment. So I think the first step is to get the poles up, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely be looking out to the Soufriere Youth and Sports Council's Facebook page, as well as Nehemiah St. John's Facebook page, to see when we are able to either witness some fun time volleyball at the beach or to come in ourselves and participate. So definitely keep your eyes peeled to those two pages for more information on volleyball in Soufriere. Okay, let's go on to netball. I do know that we have the national netball team, and I believe Iana Hippolyte was a member on that team. I'm not sure if there are any other Soufriere persons on the national netball team. What's happening in netball with Soufriere?
Most persons only know of Iana Hippolyte, but the truth is, the sad situation for us is we actually had a total of about 20 young ladies on the national team.
From Soufriere?
From Soufriere.
Oh my goodness.
At all levels.
Oh wow.
So at the senior level, we had Iana Hippolyte and Vern Alexander. Vern is from Fort Jacques originally. At the under 21 level, we had quite a bit of young ladies at the under 19 and under 16 level. So we had maybe a total of 20 young ladies at every level on the national netball teams.
Wow.
Richelle James and Shanaika Paul. We had quite a few young ladies. What's that Pascal young lady name? Very tall young lady. She's a real. Anaifa is her aunt. I forget her first name. Sorry about that. But we had a lot of young ladies. From Fosse Jacques, we had Mia. From Fosse Jacques, we had Ria. We had a lot of young netballers on the national team at all levels. And unfortunately, the court in Soufriere was taken away for the project on the field during the last administration, with nowhere for these young ladies to play or train. And I mean, we have no assurance that they are going to make the national team again, because with sports, it's like muscle memory. The more you play is the more you remember what to do, and
what you're doing,
and the better you get at the sport. So these young ladies not having a court for a number of years now, we're hoping that they can still make it onto the national team. So with netball in town, what I have tried to do is, from the Ministry of Youth and Sports standpoint, we are on the verge of refurbishing the Fosse Jacques netball court. So it's going to get a paint up, it's going to get marked during the coming week. It should have been done before January, but with COVID and all of that, and then to get the right paint was an issue. So maybe by the coming week or 2 weeks, we should get the court up Fosse Jacques, up, marked, painted, and we have actually started the process to put in new netball rims as well. So the court is going to look brand new. We are going to refurbish the court and reorganize everything up Fosse Jacques. We know it's a little bit of a hassle for town people to go up to Fosse Jacques all the time.
Well, it's better than having to go to Castries.
It's better than having to go to Castries.
Right.
The other option, what I discussed with the ministry, and the ministry, the sports officer and myself will be going to Soufriere Comprehensive School, and I have a talk with the principal of the Soufriere Comprehensive School. What we're suggesting is, the court at Soufriere Comprehensive School is dilapidated itself. So since we are already going to refurbish the one at Fosse Jacques, we're suggesting that we do Soufriere Compre
to give access to
right
town
away,
persons.
and it would give access.
That sounds good.
So we're trying to sell to the school, listen, we're going to refurbish your court for you. The only thing we are asking is that you allow just the ladies, no company, no guys coming with them, just those netballers to get maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours in the schoolyard to play some netball. We don't know if they're going to agree, with COVID and all the restrictions and all of that, but that's what we're going to try to sell, to get these young ladies back playing some netball in Soufriere.
I think that would be a great, I'm hoping that the principal will agree. I find that the fact that we did not even know we had so many persons on the national netball team is really sad, because we need to, especially when it comes to women, we need to bolster their talent. We need to try and push them forward. I know, we spoke about Tevin with volleyball, but is there opportunity for women in netball to go international?
There is, because netball is a worldwide sport. England plays netball. Germany, everywhere. It's not a sport that you could just get a scholarship to go and play. Scholarships, most time you get it to go to the US, but there are opportunities to do big things, and there are opportunities to represent your country and become very popular, and who knows, a club in maybe England or Africa or one of these places might just buy you and let you make a living playing netball. Wow. So the opportunities are not as wide as for footballers or track and field athletes, but there is some opportunity.
Is it an Olympic sport? No.
Yes, it is. Okay. It is an Olympic sport.
Because I know volleyball. I've seen volleyball on Olympics,
yes.
But I can't recall ever seeing netball.
There's a very few number of sports that are not Olympic sports. As a matter of fact, cricket is not an Olympic sport right now, but they're on the verge of trying to make it an Olympic sport. Play 10 overs or something short. So there's opportunities for the young ladies, and not just the matter of opportunities. An idle mind is the devil's playground. So when we leave these young ladies with no avenue, then a lot of them has turned to playing football, and netball is slowly dying in the community. So we have to figure out how we can revive netball and get netball back to its glory days when Soufriere was among the best netball teams on island.
So we now have more of our female netballers playing football.
A lot of them they have moved to football, and those who didn't move to football are just idle. And that's what we don't want.
Right.
So, I'm happy they're finding another sport to play. But netball is among some of my favorite sports. I'm a netball coach. I'm a netball official. I have coached at Soufriere senior netball team. I officiated at the Jean Pierre under 16 Caribbean tournament a few years ago. So netball is a sport that I love dearly, but we need to get it back up and running so the netballers could have the opportunity. The courts are gone. The conversation about how we are going to put the courts back up is high. I have taken it up with the district rep. I have taken it up with the Minister of Youth Development and Sports. So it's just a matter of identifying where and how we're going to put the courts back in Soufriere.
Well, I definitely hope that something can be done in terms of the netball court. In terms of football, I recently saw you had posted that you had received some donations from the district representative, Emma Hippolyte, in terms of football boots for some of your younger training. Is it a club a younger football club, or?
It's basically young players who came up to the district rep asking for assistance with football boots. And she just went out and helped them out, which I was very pleased about, because it was young players with quite a bit of talent that she helped out. Before we go into anything else with football, let me just say that there was elections for a new football league, and a new football league is now in place with Alexia Alcindor as the president of the football league. The funny thing is, women are slowly taking over. The football league has 7 members, and 5 of them are women.
Beyonce said, "Get information."
Yeah, so 5 of the 7 members of the football league are women. The only 2 members that are male here on there is myself as the first vice president and Kiefer Prosper as the PRO. We have Lise Campbell as the second vice president. Janil Saint Jean is the secretary. We have Leofa. What's Leofa's last name? My apologies, Leofa. But Leofa Felix is on there as the assistant secretary. And oh Lord, she's going to kill me. I absolutely forgot the treasurer's name. I just went blank. But most of the members there are women.
Well, I'm happy to hear that, and congratulations on your post on the football league. I don't want to say the wrong thing, football league.
Yeah, the football league.
Because I remember there was an issue not too long ago that we could not attend a competition because of some the voting and everything had not happened, the restructuring. So
it's a lot more than just the voting and restructuring. I like to say, I don't want to get into it and step on any toes, but I like to say it was more like a power struggle. It was more people trying to beat their chest a little bit too hard against the governing body, and the governing body decided, listen, I'm going to show who's boss. So they shut down, they prevented Soufriere from participating in the senior island tournament that is ongoing now. Well, COVID has stopped it, but Soufriere was the only district who did not participate and also there's an island-wide club competition for the under 19s.
Okay.
Under 18, sorry, and we were pulled out of it as well.
Oh.
Which was very sad because most of these young men, that might be their last opportunity to make it to the national
In the
team.
under 19, yeah.
So these players who would be selected for St. Lucia's under 20 team. So they try to get them at 17, 18, so they have them in training maybe a year or two. So that might have been the last opportunity for a lot of those players. So I'm happy that with the elections of the youth and sports of the football league happening, the new executive has written to the St. Lucia Football Association, and we are back in those tournaments. We have addressed the situation with the football association, and the teams are back in the tournament. Well, except for the senior team because it was too far along,
right?
But the under 19s, which is honestly my biggest concern, because those are the future, those are the ones that will determine what football in Soufriere is going to be in the next 5 to 10 years. So they are back in the tournament, and I can tell you the Soufriere Football League has a lot of big things coming. We have a lot of big things coming. We have tournaments. As a matter of fact, we have 2 sponsors who have agreed to sponsor 2 tournaments. So we kind of have persons who have committed to sponsor in 2 tournaments on their own already.
Okay.
And we have more in the wing. So there will be a lot of football. Football will be back. We've not had football since, I think the last football tournament was 2017, I think. That's a very long time to keep Soufrierians without football. So we are going to have a lot of football. A lot of football is on the way. So I'm asking the teams to get organized. Can
we say 2022 for sure? We'll have a football.
Definitely, we're going to have more than one football tournament in 2022.
Awesome. That sounds wonderful.
The biggest issue for us now is a lot of the clubs are not registered and not they have not met the requirements of the St. Lucia Football Association. So right now, the Soufriere Football League, the new executive, is on a drive to get those young people registered and get those clubs up running.
Awesome.
A lot of them, their issue is the executives are not functioning and all of that. So that's our drive to get. And there's a lot of players who can play and they are not registered with clubs. We're trying to encourage them to get on clubs, and let's get more teams registered, so when we decide to have a tournament, we could have a very nice tournament.
Okay. In terms of the executive of the clubs, do the persons on the executive have to be sports persons? Like, for example, I am not very sports oriented. However, I would love to contribute towards building up our sportsmen and women in Soufriere. Can I join a club and be a part of the executive?
Let me tell you, I think this is the best question you could ask during this entire show. I'm telling you, because this was one of my issues at the executive meeting and with the St. Lucia Football Association. The issue for a lot of our clubs in Soufriere, when we say we're going on a membership drive, we go on a membership drive for athletes. We forget about the administrative part of the clubs, which is very important. So we almost selling like, if you cannot play a certain sport, you cannot be a member of a club, which is incorrect. I always believe, let athletes be athletes and let administrative people be administrative people.
Because that's what I'm good at. I know I'm good at that.
Yes. So most of the clubs actually need admin people right now. Just about maybe all of them need persons to serve on their admin. So I was trying to sell that, listen, we have to go on an administrative drive. We have to sell to people that you don't have to be able to play football, basketball, cricket, netball, whatever it is, to be a member of a club. You could be a good debater and be a member of a club. There's debating competitions.
I can play dominoes.
That too.
Yeah.
That too. Well, you can't play dominoes. You can match dominoes. There's a difference.
Who tell you that? Don't worry. We'll play a day. Don't worry. I must beat you.
Yeah. So that is what I think. That's the first order of business, and not just the football league. I think the Soufriere Youth and Sports Council too. We need to go on an administrative drive. Get people involved who may not be able to play the sport, but just need people that would be able to take care of the finances, take care of the letter writing and doing proposals and that kind of thing.
Right.
So,
it takes a community development at every level. It takes different strokes, different people to be able to do something and come together. So not everybody will be able to play basketball, but they have the passion for the sport. Maybe they're big fans of the sport and they just want to give back to the community. So I'm sure there are plenty of people with that description in Soufriere.
There's a lot. And off my head, I sat at the meetings and I pointed out a few that I know who are not members of clubs, but I know who can be brilliant admin people. And that's what we need. We need people who are going to concentrate on the administrative part of it and let the players play. Let the players concentrate on just playing. So that's where we are trying to get all the clubs up and running. I even have a gentleman who has offered to cover all the financial expenses of the clubs to get them registered and get them up running.
Wow, that's wonderful.
So we have people who want to see the sport up. We have sponsors who want who has shown a lot of interest. So basically it's to just get everything back up and running, so we could move into getting 2 or 3 tournaments before the end of this year.
I definitely look forward to the next football competition at the stadium. I have not been able to attend one in so long. I can't believe it's been that many years, but wow. So it's definitely going to be something to look forward to for 2022. For those of you just joining us on Let's Connect on 88.5 Soufriere FM, we have with us Nehemiah St. Jean, who is the manager of the Soufriere Mini Stadium. He's also a member of the Soufriere Youth and Sports Council, and he is a current vice president?
First vice
president of the Soufriere Football League, and I'm very happy for him getting this position. And he's very invested in all our sporting activities in Soufriere, and he's giving us the 411 on all the latest sports activities coming up. So do we have any more football news, or can we move on to cricket?
Yeah, I think that's it for the football news. I just want to encourage the clubs like Barnes Drive, who always brought the entertainment to the stadium.
Always.
When they took part, they brought the entertainment. But again, they lack the administrative part. And without the administrative, then you will find players losing interest. And boy, the FIFA process right now is so tedious that a lot of these clubs just say, you know what, without somebody to do that for us, an admin person, they're just not going to do it. We try to sell to Barnes Drive. Listen, Market Road has done maybe halfway through the process, but Market Road doesn't have the membership right now, and that's the problem.
So they should combine.
So that's what we're trying to sell to them. Combine Market Road and Barnes Drive, and let's get, the excitement back at the stadium. Let's get them back playing football. We're trying to get Fosse Jacques. Fosse Jacques, was always competitive. We're trying to get Fosse Jacques back registered. I don't think Fosse Jacques' problem is membership, because when you have a community where all your players come from that little community, it's a lot easier to keep them together. So it's just, and I had a meeting with some of the members of the past Fosse Jacques sports club, and I was explaining to them what they should do to get the Fosse Jacques club back up and running. And I kept saying to them, the first order of business is to get a functioning executive. So if Fosse Jacques can just get a functioning executive up, I am quite sure they can get the players to register to participate in a tournament. Maybe get some Zeno people to join with them.
Yeah, if they need the membership.
Fosse Jacques is the Island Republic of Fosse Jacques. They like to show their
They like to stand out, yes.
They like to stand out. They want to do their own thing. They want to show that, listen, we are capable of standing on our own, which is something I like about them. But, sometimes you have to realize that you might not have enough players to compete, so you might need to reach out to some of the communities near you. So Stars is another club that is struggling for membership. So there are a lot of players who are not members of club. Reach out to those clubs. Reach out to the Youth and Sports Council. Reach out to myself, Alexia,
Liz Campbell,
Kiefer Prosper. Just reach out to any of us and we can direct you as to how you become a member of those clubs, to get those clubs up and running, and then for us to take football back to the glory days.
Right. Well, I definitely hope that those of you listening who have friends that may not have heard from us tonight, and you know that they're interested in football, interested in being part of a league, being part of the clubs, participating in a competition, let your friends know that they can reach out to Nehemiah St. John, to Liz Campbell, to Alexia Alcindor, to the different members, Kiefer Prosper, to the different members of the Youth and Sports Council, and try and get yourself involved. 2022 is going to be the year of football.
It is definitely.
We definitely want to see it get back to its glory days, especially when it comes to football in Soufriere. So in terms of cricket, I know that in the last administration, there was supposedly a portion of land put aside. What is going on with that? Is there going to be cricket being played on that portion of land? Do we have to search for another portion of land? Do we have to move cricket to Choiseul? What's going to happen with cricket?
This is such a sour topic for Soufriere.
I can only imagine.
And this, people don't understand when you like me who's involved in more than one sport. I played football. I played youth football at the national level. I was a national athlete, 100 and 200 meters. I represented St. Lucia. I coach netball. I am directly involved in cricket because I just want to see Soufriere do good. I have served as the fitness coach for cricket. I have served as the head coach in the Dream 11 for the Soufriere cricket team. And when you're involved in more than one sport, and this is what I was trying to sell to the past administration, you cannot have 3 children and you're going to tell me you're going to starve one child so that the other 2 children will survive. That's just not good parenting. It doesn't make much sense.
That's post-apocalyptic kind of thinking.
Right. So you cannot tell me you're going to take away cricket so that football and track and fields could look better. When the truth is, cricket was the most popular sport in Soufriere at the time. Island-wide, football is the most popular sport. But in Soufriere, because of that SPL tournament that we were having, that Soufriere Cricket League tournament, cricket would fill the stadium 10 times faster than football. So we were trying to sell to the last administration and the last district rep, don't take that away. Build something else somewhere else first, and then we can maybe look to separate a cricket field and a football field.
Right.
But for now, we cannot afford to do that. It's going to cripple cricket. It's going to kill cricket.
And so said Sudan.
And so said Sudan. Moving forward, I know that the Minister of Youth Development and Sports, the district representative, Emma Hippolyte, the PS for Youth and Sports, the Director of Sports, myself, we did do a walk through all the sporting facilities in Soufriere and seeing the way forward with all of them. The cricket grounds, the last I know, a deposit was made to the owners of that land. It is beginning to look like we are going to lose that deposit because
Yikes.
the walkthrough we did, it showed that the place, first and foremost, it would take a lot to backfill that area. And that area is waterlogged. There's a lot of water there, and no final decision has been made. But more and more it's looking like it is going to be very, very difficult, very impossible to put a cricket grounds up there. So the ministry have said, you know what, let's weigh other options. Let's look at other options before we just put put this one aside. But
for now, it's at a standstill.
It's at a standstill for now until I remember the Minister of Youth Development and Sports, Kenson Kazima, saying that by the hook or by the crook, before the end of his first 5-year tenure, Soufriere will have a cricket grounds. And
we'll hold him to that.
Emma Hippolyte is pushing him. He always says to me, boy, you're the secret boy, she ain't give me a chance. So he has made it abundantly clear that we will have a cricket grounds before the next 5 years. It's just to choose somewhere that we could put it. That would be cheaper to put the grounds, because putting it up where they proposed, it's more and more it's beginning to look like they never had any intentions of putting any cricket grounds there. I'll say it looks like it was just, a decoy. Let's just clear the area, make it look like we actually going to do something, leave it for 3-4 years, and nothing happened. And when the walkthrough was done there, I think it's confirming that it's near impossible to put the cricket grounds there. So I think now it's just to find another location, but there is not a lot of cronglands in the Soufriere area. So that's the problem with the cricket grounds. So it's just to find an area that they would do it.
So what the little hope that we can offer to the cricketers of Soufriere right now is that our current Minister for Youth and Sports, Kenson Kazime, has said that Soufriere will get a cricket ground within his 5-year tenure. So we shall hold him to that. And like you've already said, our district representative, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, is tenacious enough to be at him to make sure we get that. So let us just hope that a portion of land can be acquired where it is a better location for our cricketers, and then we can move forward from there.
The sad thing is, the last I heard that the owners of the land has requested to take their lands back.
Well, as long as they pay their money back?
The government of St. Lucia will forfeit that money that was already given to the people. And I am hearing that they are threatening to sue and take the government to court for taking their lands, clear it out without really having any intentions of putting anything there.
Oh gosh!
So that's what I heard. So let's
leave the legalities to the lawyers.
Yes.
And we'll focus on our sports activities.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't want the cricketers to think that we're just going to sit here and wait until something happens for the stadium. Mm-hmm. Let me just tell them, the district representative, Emma Hippolyte, along with the Cricket St. Lucia, I think they call it. It's not the St. Lucia Cricket Association anymore. Cricket St. Lucia had their elections not too long ago, and Julian Charles is back as the president of Cricket St. Lucia. And in a conversation with Mr. Julian Charles and Miss Emma Hippolyte, on Friday, actually, this Friday, there will be a walkthrough to identify an area that they are going to put up batting net and bowling nets in the meantime, which will be absolutely great, because that would mean the cricketers can get some practice. Mm-hmm. So as soon as maybe into next month, there will be work on batting nets and a batting and bowling pitch for Soufriere. I know the last I knew, Kiefer and the guys had already cleared an area at the mini stadium at the back towards the primary school. So I'm thinking there might be the best place to put it, clear it up, flatten it, and then put the batting nets there. As far as I know, the Cricket Association will sponsor the nets in conversation with the district representative. And also, the last I heard that Anchas Nejid Mountain is also willing to sponsor some batting nets for the cricketers as well. So, we're trying to get the cricketers some way to play, some way to practice in the meantime, while there's no field for them to play. So come when there is tournaments, we would not be as rusty and not look out of form as we did in the past.
Well, that's at least some sort of comfort. I'm hoping that our cricketers are willing to use the compromise, and hopefully we just keep wishing for the best in terms of getting the actual cricket.
The cricketers
area
are willing to use it because they have been begging. They have been asking. They have been begging. I remember requesting meetings with the last district rep that never happened. So they really want to look forward to getting that cricket nets. So we will have a little more information on it by Friday, because like I told you, the district rep Emma Hippolyte and the president of the Cricket Association, along with some members of the Soufriere cricket team, will be doing a walkthrough to see where is best to put the cricket nets, so they would have somewhere to train.
All right, so we can also look forward to an update, I suppose, on the Soufriere Fun Sports page as well.
Definitely.
Okay, so definitely we're going to be looking forward to all these updates. And in terms of track and field, I'm not sure where sports is in terms of the in terms of the school levels. When it comes to track and field, I don't know if intersect and all these things are still happening with COVID. So what can you tell us is happening? Where are we at in Soufriere in terms of track and field?
Track and fields is alive and well in Soufriere again. I think the last time we had the Soufriere Athletics Club up, it must have been something like 15 years ago, maybe up running properly, maybe between 10 and 15 years. Like I said, I was a past national athlete myself. I ran the 100 and 200 meters for St. Lucia for a few years. And there was a time when Soufriere Athletics Club was the most feared athletics club on island. When Ginil Vite was there, and Nessa Paul and Zachariah Paul, Helena Rene, Adela, Pamela Alfred, Lisa Justin, Jenny Justin, Lisa Esnad. We had Jason Seville. We had athletes who would compete with just anybody. We would dominate track and field in St. Lucia. So realizing that, it's been a very long time, and when you look at the schools in Soufriere, you see the talent. You see the amount of talent that is in Soufriere. You have people like Shermina. Shermina is at Soufriere Primary School. She's from Diamond. That child is the next Shelly Ann Fraser Price. I can tell you, she's amazing. We have athletes like Ria up in Fosse Jacques and Shireen at Fosse Jacques. We have athletes that are capable of doing big things. But they only participate in track and fields when school sports is around.
Right.
And that was an issue. So what I did was I tried to revive the Soufriere Athletics Club along with Gracious Sherabin Octave and Mr. Francis George and Natalia Jabatis and Desma as well. We came together and we decided, we're going to go ahead and revive the Soufriere Athletics Club. And I can tell you, we have registered between 80 and 100 young people registered with the Soufriere Athletics Club. It's about 4 months now. We have been in training, and it's beginning to look really, really positive. We have a Jukwan Alexander who's only between 12 and 13. And right now we think he can compete with any senior person at 200 and 400 meters.
Oh.
So, we are looking to do big things. The district representative, Emma Hippolyte, sponsored some gear to the athletics club, some track shoes and some shoes for a lot of our young athletes who are coming to train barefooted. So I decided to go on a drive to see how many pairs of shoes that I can get to get those young people training properly, because training on that synthetic turf is going to cut through their feet.
Right.
So we have gone on a drive and we have collected quite a bit of training shoes or track shoes that those kids could use to train and to compete. So track and fields is back alive in Soufriere. We are going through the process of getting us back affiliated with the National Athletics Association. I have had a meeting with the president of the association along with some of the members. So we are in the process of getting registered that we can participate in national competitions when there is. We know the synthetic turf is in Soufriere, and we most definitely will have more track and field events in Soufriere. So we want to be able to be at home competing with the rest of St. Lucia when the time comes. So the athletics club is back up. If you want to register your child, we actually took a break for the Christmas season, but we will be back in training the first Monday in February. So training is from 4:30, no charge. We're not going to charge anything. I mean, the coaches are just sacrificing and giving back. Mr. Francis George, who coached me when I was on the 14, he coached me, and now to see him still there with me coaching the new batch of kids is just amazing. Francis George, I mean,
big up Mr. Francis.
I have said to people all the time, I hate the fact that we live in a dead hero society. We wait until somebody's dead
to give them their flowers,
to honor them.
Yeah.
I personally believe in the bottom of my heart that the mini stadium should be called the Francis George Stadium. I mean, Francis George has been involved in track and fields, football, netball, cricket, just name it. Every single sport.
May I suggest that you nominate him for national awards? National awards nominations are up.
Yeah, yes. That's part of the plan.
Yep.
So, you know, we really, really want to encourage people to get into taking their kids and the benefits of them being there. And we're not just talking about the star athletes. There are some kids who just need recreation.
Yes.
They just need a place to come and get out of the house.
Right.
Come and boost their immune system. We're in COVID times. The training, the exercise is going to boost their immune system.
Get some vitamin D.
So we want them to come out. We have some kids we know might not be star athletes, but who knows, they might be good for us. Javelin shot, put discus, whatever it may be.
Right.
So we have them in training. We just want to encourage more and more people. We actually have people from Connery's who have reached out. Quite a few parents, even the PE teacher from Connery's, Mr. Bradley Tisson, has reached out asking that, you know, his star athletes from the Connery's area join us. And we have kept it open. The problem is transporting them back and forth from Connery's.
All right.
Let me also say that Force Jacques and Diamond, like I mentioned Shamina earlier on, we have made an arrangement to pick up the kids from Force Jacques as of the first Monday in February. We will be picking up those from Force Jacques and Diamond to take to training and then to drop them
That's
back
great.
at home.
That's wonderful.
That initiative is going to be sponsored once again by Anchasne and Jade Mountain.
Anchasne, Jade Mountain.
Anchasne, Jade Mountain and Mr. Yasha Trubetsko enough, because they're really, really reaching out to sports in Soufriere.
Definitely appreciate that, yes. So big up to Yasha Trubetsko of Anchasne Resort. We appreciate your assistance with our youth and sports, especially for the track and field transportation of our Force Jacques and Diamond players. That's definitely wonderful. Can we get some information in terms of how persons can get use of the stadium currently? Is it open for persons to come in and train? Do they have to pay a fee? Is it only open from a certain time to a certain time? What's happening with the stadium?
All right, the stadium is should I say public property? It is open right now, although as far as it is supposed to be still under construction, because the last administration and the last district rep kept saying the stadium is close to opening. The stadium is close to opening.
Because we never had a grand opening.
And how could you have a grand opening? The stadium is not even halfway completed.
Well, there you go.
So all the time they were saying it's almost completed, almost completed. When
not
you get
halfway
in there now, there is more work to do than what has been done. The entire stands needs a complete facelift, painting, renovations. We have leaking roof. Thanks to the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation, they have sponsored to do the temporary works for the leaking, because the roof has been leaking for years, and it leaks into the electrical outlets. So I wrote a letter to the Regional Development Foundation, and they have reached out and they have covered the cost of labor and material to do a temporary fix until after budget, because the Ministry of Youth and Sports will be doing some renovations at the mini stadium to get it up. The plumbing needs a complete redo.
I think it's been years they've needed to do that for sure.
The electricals need a complete overhaul. Every sink, every faucet, every toilet, every bathroom, everything in there needs a redo. The entire, both locker rooms needs a complete redo. There's leakage on the steps going up with the tanks that are on top for water. So there's a lot of work still to get the stadium up to standard. What with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the district rep, what they are trying to do is to see the possibility of getting it to a stage where it's usable for now while they do the little renovations around the building. So they're trying to see if they can repair some toilets for now. So just in case, the Soufriere Football League decides, let's have a football in March or in something, that they can say, all right, you know what, go ahead and use it for 2 months until we do all the major renovations. But there's a lot of renovations still to do at the mini stadium, and it was all the time we were here, and it's close to opening, close to being completed. It is very far from being completed. In terms of the tracks is still missing the metal rail that goes on the outside of the tracks. It's missing that to be certified. So the Ministry of Youth and Sports, I think they said it's in a container. They should be getting it soon. The Ministry of Youth and Sports will be putting in that metal railing, and then for it to be IIAF certified. So until then, it is not certified. The football area, during the walkthrough, the Minister of Youth and Sports and the rest, knowing the dangers of that pitch, the heat it exerts, it was a very soft talking point during the last election, saying, it's giving cancer and all of that. The conversation of removal of that artificial turf did come up, but for now, it's going to cost maybe more to put it back natural grass than
to
keep it. So
it's sad and unfortunate, but
seeing that the financial situation of the government, they have said it 100 times. They're saying that they're looking into it, but it is not something that is going to happen now. For now, I was on that artificial turf playing some veteran football a couple Sundays ago, and the heat coming from it is unbearable, and the smell of the chemicals too. So it's something that we are looking into. And being on there, let me just make it clear, being on there is not going to give you cancer. Walking on there is not going to give you cancer. Running on there is not going to give you cancer. And most certainly not the tracks. It's the middle part of the field that is considered dangerous. And it's dangerous because of the chrome rubber, the little black petal.
Right, the thing that's from the tires.
Right, that's in there. When it goes into your mouth or into your nose and you ingest it, that's when it's dangerous. When you continue to swallow it, that's why more goalkeepers fall sick from it. When they're the ones who are always down on the turf, and it enters their nose, their ears, their mouth, and goes into their body. And the chemicals in that chrome rubber is what that is dangerous. So standing on it is not going to give you cancer or it's dangerous, except for the heat. It's a major concern for the little ones, because remember, they are closer to the ground. Nice. So the more heat is going to hit them, But there's a lot of work to be done at the stadium, and I can tell you the district rep is applying a lot of pressure. She calls me regularly to find out what's happening and where we're going and what's going to be done there. And we're pushing to get the stadium up, running, and open in the shortest period of time.
We have about 4 minutes left on the program. I wanted to cover, just so that persons are aware, that you have started a fitness program. I'm not sure if you have a title for it, but it's your transformation fitness or something like that?
It's body transformation.
It's body transformation. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about it is because I feel like we need to explain to persons that it is important, not just for health, but especially during the pandemic, with everything else that's going on, that they should really take advantage of your program. So tell us about your program.
Well, it's not something that I just started. It has been going on for maybe 4 or 5 years now. It's something that I've been doing. In the beginning, especially during the COVID time, I volunteered my time to get people healthy. A lot of people are against the vaccine. I am not here to tell people to take the vaccine or to turn it down. That is up to you to decide whether you want to take it or not. But if you decide you're not going to take that vaccine, you have to do stuff to boost your immune system. And the best way to boost your immune system is to work out and to eat healthier foods, eat better. So I have been doing this for about 5 years now. I realize it's a little expensive for people to attend a gym, and I do personal training at the gym as well. So people who are in the gym, they contact me and I do personal training there as well. But what I have started doing is doing my personal training at the stadium. No equipment needed. Let's just shed some weight, cut some inches, get healthier, boost your immune system. We just do it. I have it going on at 5:30 on an afternoon for those who work mornings and want to work out in the afternoon. And I have it at 5:30 a.m. as well. So those who are working late, some people just don't like to work out in the afternoon. They rather work out in the morning. So as of Monday, I will have it at 5:30 in the morning at the stadium. And as right now, I was supposed to be at a session, but I had to cancel because I am on here. So I have it at 5:30 in the morning and 5:30 in the afternoon to get more people living healthier lives. Get more people boosting them. Again, the best way to boost your immune system is to lots of exercise and eating properly. People believe exercising is strenuous activity, something very, very strenuous. 40 minutes of walking every day is good enough. Riding your bike, get a buddy, get somebody, just go for a walk. That is going to help, and that's what I'm trying to promote. That's what we are trying to promote. And those of you who want to do the gym, we have a wonderful gym at Forbenye. You could join the gym as well. Anything that is going to boost your immune system, I want to encourage people to do it, because the only way to fight this COVID is not going anywhere. It looks like it's going to be here for a while.
Yeah, so we're waiting on the next variant.
Yeah, so the best way to fight it is to ensure that your body is ready to put up a fight and to boost your immune system.
I totally agree with you. So can you let the public know how they can reach you to get in touch with you for your Is Body Transformation?
Yeah, you can call me at 713-6861 or 286-6861. I'm on Facebook as well. You could call or WhatsApp again, 713-6861 or 286-6861.
Right, great. So thank you so very much, Mr. Nimaya St. Jean, for your very, very wonderful contribution today regarding sports, health, and everything related to that. And we want to congratulate you once again on becoming the first vice president of the Soufriere Football League. Congratulations to you. And thank you once again for being here on Let's Connect. We love having you, and we hope that you will be joining us again very soon. And until then, good luck with your body transformation workouts. And I hope that all of our listeners are going to be contacting you to join up from next week. I want to thank everybody on 88.5 Soufriere FM for listening, and for those of you on Facebook Live and also on YouTube, thanks for joining us. Until next week, Tuesday, we'll be having...
Can I just make one comment before we leave? We are on the verge of getting young people interested in proposal writing. A proposal writing workshop. So any young people out there who's interested, you can contact me at 713-6861 proposal writing workshop. We have some people from Germany who are here to conduct a proposal writing workshop. So we're looking for young people to participate in that workshop.
When is that workshop starting?
We are not sure. They are trying to confirm the numbers, and then we would know. It's going to be virtual.
Is there an age limit?
No, there's not.
Okay, great. Well, you can sign me up right now. Okay, I'll definitely be interested in that. So thanks again for joining us. And until next week, we're going to be having our virtual Nobel Laureate Poetry Competition next week live on our Let's Connect program. So join us next week. Thank you so very much for being here with us.